Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. As Steffy and Liam rage against Sheila, Hope and Finn share an unexpectedly intimate moment together. The bold and the beautiful Steffy and Liam go off on their loved ones. Hope and Finn get unexpectedly close and Deacon finalizes plans with Sheila. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. As we get into the bold and the beautiful, Liam and Steffy are griping at Forrester. He isn't sure how Finn can ignore all the feelings he has for his mom, but Steffy tells him there's only room for her or Sheila. Period. It won't be a problem, Steffy says. Finn knows her feelings. Fine, Liam says, but she's reformed now, and Finn's gullible enough to think she's a normal, well-adjusted person. Whatever, Steffy shrugs. Sheila doesn't mean anything to her or Finn. I know Finn's going to stay away from her. Steffy thinks Sheila thinking she can manipulate Finn is ridiculous. Liam wants to clarify. Ridiculous that she thinks she can or that she actually can. Then there's Hope. She seems to be falling for Sheila too, Liam scoffs. Steffy is horrified and wants to know how it happened. Hope spoke with Sheila and bought her story about trying to stop sugar. Neither Steffy nor Liam buy it. Liam says Hope's trying to have an open mind. She better not have an open mind around my husband and lead him down a wrong path. Steffy spat. Finn, meanwhile, is talking to Hope in his office and can't believe that Deacon and Sheila are marrying, or that they want Hope and him there for the big day. Is Hope okay with being Sheila's maid of honor? She doesn't know, but she thought she should tell Finn. She's a safe place to mull over this. Finn's torn, but there's no way to convince Steffy. I believe Sheila has changed and Steffy doesn't. I'm afraid she never will. He might want to say yes, but his commitment is to Steffy first. Hope thinks Finn wanting to put Steffy first is wonderful, and he says there's nothing else he can do. Hopefully she'll eventually come around. He then asks what Hope is going to do, but is a bit surprised when she admits she's leaning towards going. Hope, this is not some everyday wedding, Finn tells her. Going will mean she's supporting him marrying Sheila. Carter, is that something you can see yourself doing? She just wants to see her dad happy. She then pinches her nose and admits she's been having headaches. Finn offers to take a look and after half-heartedly saying no, agrees to let him help. He checks her out and asks a few questions. She mentions wanting to start acupuncture and he thinks that's a great idea. That and massage. Do you trust me? I've been told these hands work wonders. Deacon tells Sheila to picture their wedding with their kids by their side. Sheila says it's a lovely thought, but pigs will fly first. You don't ask, you don't get. We'll see what happens, Deacon tells her and they hug excitedly. Hope, he says, is willing to talk to Finn. Sheila, though, can't get excited because of Steffy. The though of Finn attending the wedding is amazing. Realistically, after the last visit from Steffy, Sheila's not sure Finn will make it to the wedding, let alone be Deacon's best man. Deacon's a bit worried about Sheila, specifically about Steffy. About your tone. He gets that she's frustrated with Steffy, but be careful. You can't ignore the reality that some of the things you did in the past had a lasting effect on Steffy and her family, but at the same time she can't ignore that Sheila has changed. She is the one thing standing between a relationship between me and my son, Sheila says forcefully. In the show's last few moments, Deacon tells Sheila she's not instilling confidence in him. I've got too much good in my life right now to let someone like Steffy throw me off track, she smiles. She wants Deacon the most in the world and they're going to be together regardless of what Steffy thinks or wants. And Steffy will never come between her and Finn. Nothing will destroy the incredible little life she's got going. At Forrester, Steffy fumes that she should have seen this coming. All the stuff Hope has been saying about Steffy not discarding Finn's feelings towards his birth mother. Liam muses half-heartedly that Hope might just have her best interests in mind regarding their marriage. She doesn't have my best feelings, Steffy yells. Hope needs to stay away from Finn. This could be dangerous. She needs to stay away from him altogether. Finn, meanwhile, is giving Hope a head massage, going through things that could be causing the headache, like stress. That could do it, Hope says. Between Thomas being across the world, things with Douglas, she's got a lot on her plate. Finn rests his hands on her shoulders and tells her to take some time for herself. Hope marvels that she feels better after the massage. Look, if Thomas is causing you this much stress, Finn counsels, she needs to let him go. You are so beautiful, kind and passionate in what you do. And she's got a smile that lights up the world. She deserves the best and she doesn't think it's Thomas. Someone special will come along right when you least expect it. I'm certain of it. Any man would be lucky to be with you. Steffy Forrester could barely contain her fury as she stormed through the corridors of the Forrester mansion, her eyes blazing with a fierce determination. The opulent surroundings, usually a haven of comfort, now felt suffocating as the weight of her anger pressed down on her shoulders. Liam Spencer followed closely behind, his jaw set and his fists clenched. The target of their rage was none other than Sheila Carter, the woman who had caused untold misery to their family. I can't believe she's done this again, Steffy spat, her voice trembling with the effort of holding back tears. How many times do we have to deal with her chaos before she finally leaves us alone? Liam placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder, his touch gentle despite the turmoil roiling within him. We'll get through this, Steffy. Together, we can stop her. As they reached the drawing room, the sight of Sheila standing smugly by the fireplace only intensified their resolve. Her eyes glittered with a mix of malice and amusement, clearly reveling in the turmoil she had caused. Steffy felt a surge of hatred so intense it took her breath away. You have no right to be here, Sheila, Steffy declared, her voice steady despite the storm raging inside her. Leave now, before we make you. Sheila laughed, a cold, mirthless sound that echoed through the room. Oh, Steffy dear, you should know by now that I don't scare easily, and I'm not going anywhere. Liam stepped forward, his eyes narrowing. You're not welcome here, Sheila. Whatever game you're playing, it ends now. Meanwhile, in another part of town, Hope Logan and Dr. John Finnegan found themselves sharing an unexpectedly intimate moment. The two had always shared a bond, but recent events had drawn them closer together. As they sat in Finn's cozy living room, the weight of the world seemed to lift, if only for a moment. Can't believe everything that's happened, Hope said softly, her eyes meeting Finn's. Sometimes it feels like we're living in a nightmare. Finn nodded, his gaze intense. I know what you mean. But through it all, you've been a source of strength for everyone, Hope, including me. Hope felt a warmth spread through her chest at his words. In the chaos that surrounded them, this moment of connection felt like a lifeline. She reached out, her fingers lightly grazing his hand. You've been my rock, Finn. I don't know what I would have done without you. Their eyes locked, and for a heartbeat, the world outside ceased to exist. There was something unspoken between them, a burgeoning connection that neither had anticipated. As Finn leaned in, his breath mingling with hers, Hope's heart raced. The kiss, when it came, was gentle but filled with an unexpected intensity. It was a promise, a confession, and a comfort all rolled into one. Back at the Forrester mansion, the confrontation with Sheila had reached a fever pitch. Steffy and Liam stood side by side, their unity a palpable force against Sheila's malevolent presence. You've caused enough pain, Sheila, Steffy said, her voice unwavering. We're not going to let you hurt our family anymore. Sheila's smile faded, replaced by a sneer. You think you can stop me? I've faced worse than you too. Liam stepped forward, his voice low and dangerous. Maybe, but we're stronger than you think. And we're not alone. As if on cue, Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan entered the room, their faces set with grim determination. Together, the family presented a united front, a wall of solidarity against Sheila's machinations. "You see, Sheila," Ridge said, his voice like steel, "you're not just dealing with Steffy and Liam. You're dealing with all of us, and we protect our own." For a moment, Sheila seemed to waver, her confidence shaken by the sheer force of their unity, but her defiance quickly returned, her eyes narrowing with rage. "This isn't over," she hissed before turning on her heel and storming out of the mansion.